Thank you. We're going to sing a song in a minute. But before we do, since we're here and it's not pissing with rain, and where are we going to go next? I don't know. I've got very little to do. I'm going to tell you a story because I love it. All right, here it goes. No more preamble. I had a friend who was a junior minister in the Thatcher government, and one of his jobs was to go and meet dignitaries at Heathrow Airport. And one day, this is his story, by the way. You'd know him if I mentioned his name, but I won't because... Anyway, President Gorbachev was going to pass through London refueling his plane. So this young chap had to go with a bunch of other young guys from the Foreign Office and the Civil Service to bow and scrape in their morning suits. Anyway, Gorbachev lands and all these Russian troops and blah, blah, blah. And he's only there for 20 minutes and they're in a little room. He's there with an aide, and these chaps are all standing around in their shiny brogues and their pinstripes and their morning coats and whatever. I say, jolly good, this should be jolly interesting. And Gorbachev just stands there and looks at him like he did. And eventually he leans over to his aide and he goes, and the aide says, President Gorbachev would like to ask you a question. And all the young blokes go, I say, bloody good, jolly good, this should be interesting. So the aide says, President Gorbachev would like to know your opinion on following question. What do you think would have been different in world history if President Khrushchev was assassinated rather than President Kennedy? And they all go, fuck me. This is too difficult. So now they're staring at their brogues and shuffling backwards towards the wall. So Gorbachev, to his eternal credit, let them stew in it for several minutes, and then he turns to him, and he never cracked a smile like that. And he says to his aide, and the aide says, President Gorbachev believes it unlikely that Mrs. Kennedy would have that Mr. Onassis would have married Mrs. Khrushchev. I fucked it up, but I kind of like that story. And so I may be going to see the great man at the beginning of November because he's getting very old now, and we owe him, President Gorbachev, late of the USSR, an enormous debt of gratitude for understanding some of the things that we're sharing here together in this meeting outside our dilapidated, miscreant home office. All right, I will shut up now and we'll sing this song.